This is comedy gold.
They had to come all the way out here.
Oh, I go all the way there. What the heck?
Well, that's true. Yeah, I don't feel bad for you. All right. Well, this is Alex Sturgeon with the HobbyTown HobbyPlex here for the HobbyPlex Show, and with me as always is Will Brinton. How's it going, Will?
Hey, doing well, thanks.
Nice. How's your coronavirus meltdown going?
Okay. So last time I think we talked about it, we all kind of made some jokes. Don't believe the hype, whatever. Well, now it's like a big deal. Now it's like a thing. So, hope.
Yeah.
Hey, I have my Nebraska sweatshirt on. This isn't lucky anymore because Nebraska loses every time I wear it. So.
Oh, that's lame. Yeah, it definitely feels different than it did last week, just within a week. My son's school is basically postponed indefinitely, something like that. It was just 1 week, but I think it's going to be a lot more than that now. And we have had to make some cancellations for upcoming events at the Plex. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. And you see other events across the nation, RC wise, being canceled. It's weird because just this morning, I'd put that our weekend racing, just club racing, as far as I know, wasn't going to be affected because it was our person count was never over the 50 CDC limitation that they were recommending, and then like 2 hours later, it's down to 10.
Yeah.
But, so we're not officially going to cancel club racing on Wednesday or Saturday, but basically, one of the reasons for that is because we have a really large pit area, so people can practice good social distancing. We're not like packed together like sardines, like
right.
other places could be. So there's just a lot of space at the Plex, a lot more space to where I just feel like it's a different situation for us. So we'll see.
Well, yeah.
Basically, what we said is we're going to let our customers determine, their level of involvement, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to talk to my wife and see if she's gonna let me race or not, like this weekend. Probably play it by ear. I was kind of looking forward to at least coming up and getting my trophy, but we'll see what happens.
I mean, I figured if it comes down to the worst of it, we have plenty of points to go by, and like several classes, like yours in particular. I mean, you already won it 3 weeks ago, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like, what do you? Go ahead.
The store's still doing good, though.
Yeah. Ultimately, that's what I really care about. Is the store doing well, and I just hope sales don't tank, and there isn't this huge change in our economy over this.
Yeah, but, yeah, that's what kind of freaked me out Thursday. So normally I'd say, hey, let's start with basic hobby news, but I mean, the coronavirus stuff is hobby news, and we've already started talking about it. So, I'll just start with Thursday. I was feeling really panicked, like bad. Like the track was done. I had a lot of help getting the track done for the Tekno Series finals, but when this first started feeling like it was getting a little bit more serious, it was Thursday, and we had the Tekno Series race Friday and Saturday, and I was thinking to myself, oh my gosh, nobody's going to come, and it's just going to be, the last race is going to be terrible, and it's going to tank, and everybody's going to be panicked and frightened, and that didn't happen. So I don't know. We had 186 entries and 106 people there in the pits, and
right.
Even with the snowstorm, it ended up being a really good race. But now, just even a couple days later, now it feels like it's gotten even more stranger, uncharted territory.
Yeah.
So it puts us in a really weird position. So, basically, what it's come down to is I noticed all these places now are starting to. I better turn off my phone. all of these places like the Psycho Nitro Blast was postponed.
Yeah.
And let's see, what else was there? Like Jimmy Babcock Racing League, their first round at Coyote Hobbies was postponed. What else did I see? A couple different. The NDRC World Icebreaker Race, Big Nitro Race down there in Texas, that was postponed.
Yeah.
So,
Stock Wars got postponed. That's a fairly local race, isn't it? And then the 702 Vegas Carpet J Concepts race got postponed.
Exactly. The last Winter Series of RC Compound is postponed.
Really?
I saw that today too. Yep.
So they're talking about this thing being out into June, right? Like
I hope not. It said for 8 weeks, so that puts it at 2 months. So our April race is coming. That one's we've talked about it, but we haven't made a decision on whether or not that one's going to be canceled because it's so far off in the distance. It's a month and a half away, where things are changing so quickly that if it gets better, then we can still hold, have that race.
Right.
But then that's at the end of April. But
so
here's the news that we're posting today, that the TCS regional race that we hold every year, this year was March 28th, 29th, is postponed.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know when it'll get redone.
Right.
And then also the J Concepts Spring Oval Nationals that we held last year, Memorial Day weekend, and then it seemed like that date didn't quite fit, so we moved it closer to our actual dirt oval season, and now we got to postpone it. So
that's a huge bummer. Like, I'm literally sitting here looking at the sprint car Jason and I were going to run, or are going to run eventually. Like, it's right here. Here, let me show you. Flip it. There we go. It's sitting right. I was just working on it. And there's a new body for it. And there's the old body. And so as wrenching.
So for our listeners that are like, why is Will saying, hey, let me show you this. We're trying to do along with our actual like edited podcast through Weberize.com, because they make us sound awesome. We're also trying to do like a live stream on YouTube, or a recording of this on YouTube, of the raw video before it's edited or anything like that, just for more content on our YouTube channel as well. So we'll just turn the camera to show the sprint car that he got from Jason Rona at J Concepts for him to work on.
Yeah. Crew chief.
Crew chief. So last year you guys did good. You guys Will ran regular mod sprint, and Jason Rona ran Jason ran 40 plus sprint with the same car. And it took you guys, but you finally kind of got into the right lap times and actually ended up turning out pretty well at the end.
Yeah, Jason won 40 plus modified. I was one spot away from making the A. And it was like I didn't realize Jason was going to race. So he, like, right before the first qualifier, he was like, hey, charge the battery up because I'm going to run that too. Or, like, make sure we got another battery ready to go. It's like, dude, okay.
Yeah.
So it was like we're running a car I've never even driven before. And so, like, every time it came off the track, I'm, like, wrenching on this thing, taking it down to the plate almost, like, trying to change stuff. And then it's like so it's like you have half the time to do any changes or try anything, because there's, like, that, like, it was, like, double the work on one car. So.
Right. But you guys ran the same pair of tires, didn't you?
Yeah, we ran one pair of tires all weekend. We broke in another set, but we never needed them.
Right. That worked out pretty awesome. That just kind of showed that even though you had to buy, J Concepts tires for that race, you didn't need to buy freaking 4 or 5 sets of them. You only needed one pair, really. If you ran one car.
No, you definitely don't. don't need more than one set. At least last year when we ran golds. I think silvers, they're just going to be a little bald in the middle, and they'll be perfect.
Yeah. So, so that's kind of the big news coming out of this podcast is that those two events that we're holding will be postponed. They're not canceled, just postponed. We're still holding the TCS Nats in August. As far as we know right now, we're still holding the HobbyPlex Spring Champs April 24th through the 26th. And our summer series races will go on as scheduled as far as we know. That's because that's way off. I mean, that's May 16th. I say way off. It comes up quick, but still, I mean, relatively speaking, as fast as this thing seems to be going information-wise, I think hopefully by then, calmness will ensue and people will start going back to their regular lives.
No, I agree.
Hopefully people will just wash their hands just because.
Yeah, I used to never wash my hands.
I wash my hands, but I got to be honest. I like if I pee, then it's just a rinse, more than a 20-second scrub. But now that this has gone on, I've caught myself doing the 20-second scrub on everything, whether I touch anything part of my body. Or other people, or money too. So when I'm bringing people up at the store, if there's a line of 4 or 5 people and I've got them all rang up and they're out the door and I have a minute to myself, I run straight to the bathroom and I wash my hands. Because I think money's always dirty. But I've always noticed that, like after handling a lot of money, my hands feel.
Especially ones, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, see, like, in the line of work that I'm in, I have to wash my hands before I go to the bathroom. So, like, I'm, like, extra clean, if you know what I mean.
Nice.
I wash my hands before and after. So, well, now before and after, definitely.
Do you touch your face a lot? I touch my face all the time.
Yeah, I'm a face toucher. Born and raised. I definitely, like right now I'm touching my face because I talked about it. Yeah, it's just something that I've always done, is touch my face. I saw the CDC said that I don't know if it's true or not. I'm definitely doing some research before I do anything, but I guess the CDC said that, like, people with beards are supposed to shave them. Like, you're supposed to be clean shaven, like you're less likely to get anything if you're clean shaven. It's like, man, I've had this bad boy for so long.
I'm not shaving my little thing. Sorry.
Well, you don't really have what do you got there? You got a little something there, right?
It's for me. This is what I cannot grow a beard like you. My sides don't grow. I have.
Yeah. Really?
I call it Keanu Reeves face. Like, he can't do it either. He's got these big patches of nothing. So.
Oh, really?
It's the same. Yeah, it's the same for me. I can't do what you have, but what I can do, I like. When I cut it off, I look like I don't have a chin. I look like a munchkin. So I can't get myself to do that. It elongates. Is that a word? Elongates my face.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm looking. So I've been trying to lose weight. So it's like I look forward to shaving my face, and I look like Skinny Will again. It's like an unveiling, But we'll see. I don't know. I bet if I do, it'll probably be before Saturday, and I show up on Saturday with the baby face.
Woo,
my wife wasn't looking forward to it because, the only reason why I have this beard is because she likes it. And the last time I was clean shaven was on our first date, and I never shaved again. She said, "You look better with a beard," so I just grew a beard.
I had a couple pictures come up on my Facebook lately of you without your beard, and I was like, "Oh yeah."
Was it when we were? Yeah.
I think one of them was in like Hobby Haven Racer 2 maybe.
When we were Faith Hillen.
Yeah, I think that was that. Yeah, definitely the Faith Hillen one. Yeah, it was interesting. I like seeing pictures of me without my little goatee thing too, and it's weird because in 2016 I got down to 220 pounds. with all my mountain biking, and I was eating right, and kind of eliminated a little bit of sugar in my life and everything. Which, by the way, hang on. Oh my gosh. I've been waiting for that for the last 30 minutes.
Yeah. I'm drinking LaCroix, and not alcoholic White Claw is what I call them. Anyway, go ahead.
When so I was relatively skinny. I was 20 pounds less than I weigh now, and I didn't have this on me, and my face actually looks skinny. But now that I'm all pudgy again, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I've been doing CrossFit. I get my butt kicked every Saturday at CrossFit. Derek like runs laps around me, and like when on our first time there, I was like, "Are you like the me at the Plex kind of here?" And he was like, "Oh no." It's kind of funny. Like the fast guy, the guy who gets all the stuff lifted and done.
Right.
But anyway,
that's pretty funny.
Yeah, I thought so.
So for hobby news, I mean, basically we're the whole RC world is going along with the rest of the world and basically taking a 2-week hiatus. It seems like 2 or 3 week hiatus at least.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna order some scooter parts when we get off the phone.
Nice.
There's something to do if we get stuck at home.
Other than club racing, we're still gonna try to club race. Like I said, the HobbyPlex it's such a big facility that the mayor actually talked about this today too. We have a recording of her basically saying, the 10-person limit almost like it basically goes per business. If you've got a tiny business, then with a tiny little sliver of a place and you try to cram 30 people in there, they don't want that. But we're a little bit different. So
right.
But if nobody shows up, then it'll just be a practice day.
Yeah. I've never seen such a thing before. Like, I didn't live in the 80s. I was born in the 80s, just barely. But it's like, what was people that were, like, was there even this big a deal over, like, the AIDS epidemic? Like, before anybody knew how you caught it, or, people wouldn't cover Magic Johnson in in a game because they thought they could get sick just by being around him. Like, I don't know. Like, I have no idea what that was like then, but I mean, to me, this seems to be a bigger deal than something like that. Social media wise, etc.
Yeah, could you imagine if we had social media in the early '80s when AIDS was really ramping up?
Man, could you imagine the things Alex Jones would be selling to try to this is pure. This dude's
that's what I was thinking. Like all the memes and stuff. Like,
yeah.
I just.
Oh man, and definitely the kind of people back then that were not as what do I want to say, sensitive to people lifestyles, etc. Like the kind of memes that would be going around. It'd be insane.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Our air conditioner just turned on. Since we're doing this from my basement. After every live stream that I have to do this because the HobbyPlex after hours, I forget to turn the air conditioner on, and so then the heater comes on, and then it starts messing with the audio, so I have to go run and turn it off. So I was just motioning towards my sister to turn the air conditioner off.
Oh, nice.
Which he did, so that's good. Yeah, we pulled the switch. I just have to remember to turn it back on, otherwise we're going to be super cold tonight at midnight. Gretchen's going to wake me up and be like, Did you forget to turn the air conditioner back on? It's so cold.
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, I'll go down and do it. She's like, you need to get over here right now and take the whip out.
You could see your breath.
She doesn't really sound like that. Only at times.
Yeah, she doesn't. Gretchen's great.
Gretchen's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
She's a She's an RC wife for sure. What's up with
Yeah, mine too.
Well, we're 20 minutes in. We should probably talk about the Tekno series, shall we?
Sure.
Did you
I don't know much
keep up
about
with it
it.
at all this weekend?
I saw Jeff T-Bone was there. That's about it.
Yeah.
I watched some mini truggy stuff because I'm gonna build one eventually here.
Yeah. Yep. So the weekend went pretty well. So like I said, Thursday night I was kind of panicking a little bit. I'm like, what is going on? And then Friday, everybody started showing up, all the regular people. And I'm like, oh, yeah, we'll be okay. And then the final entry count, we had 186 entries. So that's our third biggest Tekno Series race ever. So we had our largest one in January ever, the 200. And then I think at one point, I think the third round the previous year was 188, if I remember right. And so this one was 186 for the finals. And practice went well. I changed the track. So the track, the thing about it is unless something's broken down or unless it's just physically impossible to do, I always try to change something. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And even if it's just a jump or a section, I feel that just the making the attempt to do so is good for just the quality of the event. Because we don't really club race nitro, so there's no advantage there.
No.
We do club race e-buggy, but I mean, it's a handful. It's maybe 8 total guys, and I think only 2 or 3 of them actually attend the Tekno series.
Right. Yeah.
But I still like to make it different. Especially too because the track does get beat up.
I think that just makes it makes for a better season track, yet it's still fairly smooth, if that makes sense. So it's like you kind of pick the sections getting beat up the most to change, and then you move on to the next one, and you kind of have the perfect seasoned in track. That makes sense.
That's kind of how I do it with the summer series too. I'll look at what's the oldest part of the track and I'll figure out a way to change it.
Yeah.
Got the track done in epic time. I was going to come in Monday night and then work on Tuesday, and I'm like, you know what? I don't feel like coming in Monday night. So after our podcast last week, I just went home and got a good night's rest, came to work early, and started about 9 a.m. in the morning with moving dirt and stuff. And I had Clayton Whitmire came out and helped me about 2 or 3 o'clock, and he was on the tamper while I was finishing up what I wanted to change, and got the track layout done. It was pretty apparent Friday with practice that it was going to be about a second to almost 2 seconds faster than the previous lap. Track layout.
And that's okay. It is what it is. I never look at lap times for track quality or anything like that.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be that fast. I thought it would be a little faster, but I did not think it'd be that fast because Tebow and Mason, those guys were doing 18s in the e-buggy and nitro class. It was crazy. I think I saw an 18 flat once, which is, that's easily 2 seconds faster than the last round. So Friday practice went really well. We had controlled practice, took entries. While we were doing that, I got all the door prizes done. I have to give a shout out to all of our sponsors for that while I can. So we actually did pretty well this year. I'm really hard on myself if I don't get enough stuff so that everybody gets at least a couple things. But this year I had enough of small things for everybody to get one, and then I had enough big things for everybody to get one. And I did the bag method again. Yeah, I did the bag method again, which is easiest on me because then I don't have to call out numbers or anything like that, or find somebody to call out numbers.
Right. I hate that because it feels like it kind of pulls the program down. You got to listen. Can't go have lunch. You might miss your thing.
Yeah.
It's just easier. I like the bags.
So I was able to put 2 things into each bag, basically like a like a regular door prize and then almost like a trinket. So we got some stuff from Savix, like those little fake servo keychains.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of those again. Lanyards. I got some Futaba, Traxxas, and Proline lanyards. Um,
hmm
what else? What else did I get? Oh, pens. I got a bunch of Futaba pens, so I stuck some Futaba pens in there. And
Yeah.
so we had obviously
pens,
tech. You got one?
well, I have a door prize pen. Like I keep this associated pen in my box, like
Oh,
just in case I have to fill out a sponsor sheet or something.
Dude, they love handing out those pens.
Yeah.
Associated at the convention, they would have. She must bring like 2 cases of pens.
You know what I have from Associated, and I can't find it, and it irks me. I think it's out in my garage, but I have 2 bottles of Team Associated hand sanitizer.
Oh yeah, so do we.
Somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, we got them in the office.
Yeah.
That's right. What if I
That
could
and
sell
those
those?
dang wipes.
We should try to
the
sell
wipes
them.
yeah.
We should eBay them.
I have those wipes. Where are
I
they?
should totally eBay them. That'd be so funny.
Yeah. See,
Team Associated hand sanitizer.
I have these wipes
Oh wow, like baby wipes?
in well, they're like antibacterial. See?
Really?
Here's the camera.
Could you use them as baby wipes, like for your body?
I don't know. They're like alcohol wipes, so I
Ooh.
I think you'd burn your baby's bottom.
Yeah, maybe.
You don't want to burn your.
Yeah. Anyways, Tekno, Proline, aka J Concepts, TLR, Dynamite, Racer's Edge, Savix, Futaba. We had some stuff from the summer series from Motive that I put in there. Team Associated, Horizon, and HRP all donated stuff for the Tekno series. And
That's cool.
I always go. I try to do. I don't always go after the bigger stuff because I want to make sure that everybody gets at least something. So when I get a dollar amount from some of these companies for door prizes, a lot of them let me pick out what I want. So like Horizon, we build up a donation dollars throughout the year, and I just get that number for the Tekno series, and then I go into the ordering system, and I'm like, okay, well let's get 20 bottles of 40 weight shock oil, so that I can fill up those bags so that everybody can get something. Otherwise, if you start getting big stuff, that number is gone, really quick.
Yeah,
and then of course,
it's like what's.
Go ahead.
It's like what's better, having like one person get a big thing, or everybody gets a couple of small things that they can use,
Yeah, I'm all about stuff that they can use. I mean, and plus you're always going to get shirts and hats, which is nice. Especially if you're not. I've noticed if you're not like a team driver for anybody, it seems like people are actually pretty happy to get a hat or a shirt. It's not something that you get all the time. If you're a team driver, I seem to be like, I don't really need that.
Yeah, I still have my T-shirts that I'd win as store prizes and stuff. Like I'd saved them. They don't fit me anymore, obviously, but I still have them. Like the first shirt I ever won was an X-ray shirt. I still have it. It's probably like 15 years old now.
X-ray shirt. I wonder if Emerson had a Mugen shirt. Another thing popped up on my Facebook feed, and it was Emerson standing next to his Anza two-wheel drive short course with a Mugen shirt on, Mugen Siki.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, that's so cute.
Yeah. I remember we'd give them our old shirts that we didn't want or like we couldn't wear or something, and they'd be like 20 sizes too big.
Yep.
Now they probably fit them.
So back to the Tekno series. So Saturday came, and we always run 2 qualifiers and mains. I knew it was going to be a long day. We actually made really good time, though. We had 21 heats per round, and we were done qualifying by 4:40. So we started the mains right at 5 o'clock. Yeah.
That's moving.
Yeah, we were moving right along. The mains came, let's see. Trying to remember. I'm pretty sure I don't have the the results in front of me, but I'm fairly certain that Tebow TQ'd Nitro, and I think Van Dalen actually TQ'd E-Buggy, if I'm not mistaken. And then kind of the people that should or have always been on top, like Jake Stolting. He was top qualifier in Sportsman. He's definitely going to run Expert next year. Ashley McCormick was really going after that Pro 4 win. He TQ'd and actually won Pro 4. Zach Van Dalen was your TQ in Truggy again, and he actually had the series. He actually had the series locked up even before that. But the mains came, and Sean Van Dalen won Mini Truggy, and he actually won Mini Truggy for the series. So he beat his kid, Zach. I thought was pretty cool. Dane Gangler finished second. Don Drews finished third. They actually had a pretty good, if I remember right, that was a pretty good race in the main up there. Sportsman Buggy Nitro went to Jake Stolting, Tim Crystal second, Bill Nichols third. That's basically been the podium most of the year, give or take, every once in a while. But Jake Stolting kind of had it wrapped up. Tim Crystal still had a shot at him, but there had been like a major disaster for Jake, and there wasn't anything this time. Last time he actually flamed out, but he was able to get back out there and finish his race. So Nitro Buggy, Seth Van Dalen just crushed everybody. Like him and Tebow were pretty close up until the first pit stop, and then after the first pit stop, Jared got kind of tangled up in some lap traffic crashing in front of him. They weren't like holding him up. You know, it's easy to blame lap traffic for stuff, but it wasn't really lap traffic's fault. Because they were far enough in front of him where it shouldn't have mattered, but when they crashed, Jared, it's almost like he had nowhere to go. But we had this really fast back section called the 5-pack, and it's those like single jumps that are kind of angled into one another. And these guys were, at least these three, Jared and the two Jareds and Seth for sure, they would single the first one, double the second one, then single out of it. And it was a really fast line. And a couple times there were cars basically right in the middle of the line, and it was kind of hard to see. So Jared Tebow got caught up with that. But by that time, after the first pit stop, I mean, all Seth had to do was basically just not kind of make any mistakes. And he went really fast and didn't make mistakes. But Tebow finished second, and then Jared Wiggins came and finished third. And remember, I don't know if you remember, but our very first show, I was like, I don't know if Jared Wiggins is going to make all of them. Dude, he made 4 out of 5. So he's in the
really.
Front.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he finished second in Nitro Buggy. So
wow.
Yeah.
That's an all Tekno podium, isn't it?
Yes. So Tekno had a pretty good day in general. Obviously the mini Truggy, since they don't really have any competition yet other than an X-Ray, and I don't think anybody local runs an X-Ray. In Sportsman, Jake was running an Associated. But Tim Crystal had a Tekno. It was Tekno all 3 in the podium for Nitro, and then in Pro 4, Ashley McCormick won, Nate Sutherland got second, and Jay Kalahurka got third. And Nate's a TLR driver, so he's actually running a low C. I'm pretty sure Jay's running. I thought he was running a Tekno, but I might be mistaken on that one. But another Tekno won anyways. McCormick needed to TQ and win and have Jay finish 4th or lower for him to win the championship. Jay finished 3rd. Jay at one point, like 2 laps left to go, Jay was 5th, and he managed to get around 2 cars in 2 laps to get up to 3rd. And him and Ashley tied in points, but Jay's got the better tiebreak.
Oh wow!
So
that's
he's
pretty cool.
3-time Pro 4 champ.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. Yeah. Zach Van Dalen TQ'd and won Truggy. Conrad dude. And you know what? Okay, here's something that every listener needs to understand. The only way I get good at names is repetition. And for whatever reason, there's some people's names that I'm so bad at that you could tell me 100 times and I would not remember how to pronounce their last name. I'm pretty sure it's Bicey. Conrad Bicey.
No idea.
If I'm wrong, I am so sorry. What I need to get is one of those, how the dictionary has the pronunciation thing? I need to get Conrad or his parents to send me that so that I can look at it on my phone and just say it over and over again. Conrad Bicey, Conrad Bicey, Conrad Bicey, Conrad Bicey, like Rain Man, so that I can get better at it. But I'm pretty sure it's Bicey. It could be BC, but I thought it was Bicey. Okay? So all my Minnesota friends that know what I'm talking about, if you ever hear me say last names when I get to Conrad's, I'll always use his first name because it's like a blank to me. I blank it out. It's like when I'm talking about whose kids, the Noonans, Grant and see, Gage, right? Grant and Gage, Noonan. Yeah. It took me forever to remember which one was which, and I see them every week. Every week I see them.
I'm the worst with names. I'm the worst.
But anyways, okay, off the tangent. Sorry. So Sean Van Dalen finished third, and then there were a couple guys that had pretty terrible mains points wise. So Greg Baumel and Jeremy Whiting and Emerson Sturgeon were all in the running still for third place, and Greg and Jeremy both broke in the main. So
really, did Emerson break?
Yeah. Well, I'll get to that here in a second. So Jeremy Whiting.
Okay.
Jeremy Whiting broke first. He had a shock come off, and he was qualified up there pretty fast. I think he was running in second at the time. So he disappeared off the track, got his truck fixed, came back to run. Greg Baumel was up there running, I believe, in second, maybe even lead for a little while, and then all of a sudden he was gone. And I'm like, oh, crap. So the two guys that were in front of Sean Van Dalen and Emerson Sturgeon were out. Whiting came back, but he only finished eighth because he was like 20 laps behind everybody. Emerson Sturgeon broke a wheel in the first qualifier, and then he did not charge his radio batteries ever, so his radio quit working in the second qualifier. So he was in the D main. There was 30 trucks, and he was 29th. So
he bumped through.
And both times, Emerson was in like second and on easy A main pace both times. And I'm his pit guy, so I'm just on the mic. I'm like, all right, dude, just whatever you do, don't break a wheel. And then going down the straightaway, his wheel flies off, and I go to look at it, it's freaking broke. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. He didn't even like crash that hard anywhere that I can remember. But then the next one, he had 1 minute to go, and he was easily in an A main spot. I think he was going to qualify like fifth. And all of a sudden, his truck just came to a stop. And I looked up, and Emerson's just looking at his radio like, I go, what's wrong? He's like, my radio's dead. Stupid thing, dead. And I'm like, oh, no. So he bumped up from the D to the C. And I told him, I said, dude, listen, we've got one set of tires. We are out of tires. So you're going to have to run 65 minutes on one set of tires. And I said, realistically, dude, you're in the D main. Most of these guys truly are not going to be as fast as you. I said, so just be very, very patient and don't break your truck. No disrespect to anybody running the D main or even the C main, but Emerson's lap times were faster. And I just told him, I said, look, just take your time. You got 10 minutes. If we don't, and plus we can make 10 minutes without stopping. So I said, if we have to, we won't make a pit stop. Don't worry about it. You'll pass them all as soon as they all come into the pits. But in the D main, he ended up being ahead by like 2 laps. So I brought him in anyways to get a top off. In the C main, kind of the same deal. Yeah, in the C main, it was the same deal. He had a lap lead. I'm like, all right, come in and get some fuel. In the B main, he was leading, And with about 2 minutes left to go, it was a 15-minute race. I brought him in at 8 minutes to keep him out of traffic. And I was just like, all right, man, just listen, just don't do anything stupid. He had a good lead. Oh no, he was in second because Conrad was in first. Conrad bumped up too to be really good. But anyways, he was in second by a lot. And I was telling him, I'm like, you're 8 seconds ahead of the guys. There was a lot of traffic racing in front of him. So I was just like, take your time, take your time. The gap shrunk to like five seconds, but we had like a minute and a half left to go. I'm like, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. All of a sudden I hear, no, and I'm looking at his truck, and his truck's slowing down like crazy. And he ended up getting passed with 2 laps left to go because he broke a rear dog bone. So we missed the bump by a minute and a half. And yeah, so he ended up 6th in the points. And Sean Van Dalen, because he got 3rd in the race, but also those other guys, all had been run, so he ended up moving up into the top 3 in the points, I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Gotta be prepared.
I understand that, and the wheel thing is what gets me. He's broken 8 wheels this season.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what's up with that. I know it's cold, but
that's one thing I've never broken at a winter series. I've broken wings.
Yeah, I broke a wheel once. I broke an AK. I broke an AKA wheel once. I remember that. But I mean, I did hit the wall at full speed going down the straightaway, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of expected it. Sportsman e-buggy, Dane Gangler won the race. John Kinzer came again with his Tekno. He did really good, got 2nd. And then John Calise, one of the guys from Colorado, that actually made 4 out of the 5 rounds. He got 3rd. And then Tebow just annihilated everybody in e-buggy.
Yeah.
I mean, he annihilated everybody. I was on the mic and I'm like, yeah, so he didn't win Nitro, but he's gone. It was pretty apparent after like the 2nd lap that he was gonna be the one to beat because his car looked really good, but he didn't make a single mistake the whole time. Mason Fuller, the Fullers came. Mason Fuller got 2nd, and Caden Fuller got 3rd. And
nice.
Mason put down some heaters, but he got caught up a little bit with lap traffic, and then kind of had to work his way through more cars than Jared did, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean, it's awesome having Seth Van Dalen, Jared Wiggins, the Tekno team there. But man, when Jared Tebow shows up too, what's really cool about it too, and I just want to say this, that Jared Tebow's a very down-to-earth pro driver. Like, he's very approachable, and I heard him say good job to a couple racers that were racing Pro 4 after a race. So I would imagine being a young kid, being 9, 10 years old, and having Jared Tebow come up, hey man, good job. Like, that would make my day. I know it would.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I'll pit for him sometimes, like if I'm up there hanging out, whatever. But yeah.
So for the season, we'll just wrap this up here. So Sean Van Dalen won Mini Truggy. Zach got 2nd, and Dane Gangler got 3rd. In Sportsman, it was Jake Stolting, Tim Crystal, and Derek Bates finished 3rd for the season. In Nitro, Expert Nitro, it was Seth Van Dalen. And remember, he got it last month. He went 4 for 4, and now he's actually gone 5 for 5. And now that I think about it, Seth Van Dalen did TQ. Because he went, I remember seeing the points now. He went 5 for 5 TQ and wins this year.
Woo!
Unstoppable.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and his Nitro car looks really fast, which is why he's TQ'd a couple big races this year, DNC and the Southern Nats, and I think once all this Corona craziness gets over with and we're back to going to the Nats and stuff like that, I think you'll see him up there as well. Wiggins got 2nd, and Jeremy Moreau, another Tekno guy, got 3rd overall for the season. So that's pretty cool.
Cool.
And then Pro 4 was Jay Calaherka, Ashton McCormick got second, and Nate Sutherland got third. In Truggy, it was Zach Van Dalen winning it. Remember, he wrapped it up last year or last month. Jeremy Whiting, who's one of the guys that's been coming from Wisconsin. The only round they missed was the first one.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a whole group of them coming from Wisconsin. He finished second, and then Sean Van Dalen finished third. And then in Sportsman E-Buggy, it was Ashton McCormick, and I think he locked it up last month. And then Troy Jackson got second overall.
Wow.
I think that's pretty rad, just to have him back, because he kind of like – Troy's one of the guys that disappeared for a little while, and then now he's kind of back.
Oh, that's good.
I think he's
coming
even
back
on a Friday night, too. I think he's even been coming out on a Friday night every once in a while.
That's cool.
Dan Gangler got third. I think he needed Troy to do bad for him to get up to second. And then in E-Buggy, and I think this is really cool, Seth Van Dalen had that wrapped up last month as well. But check this out. Ashton Abdul finished second with his JQ car. And then
that's cool.
Clayton Whitmire finished third for the season.
Oh, nice.
So a couple of our local kids, and I call Clayton a kid. He's not really a kid anymore. He's going to be, you know what he's going to be? He's going to be a state patrol officer. He's going to be like pulling us over for speeding and crap like that.
I hope he pulls me over doing like 75 in a school zone or something like crazy. And he's like, just get out of here. But he probably wouldn't, so I hope.
Yeah.
And actually, I would never do that. I'd never go that fast to school zone. But
nah, I do like 30.
I go
I can get
20.
away with it.
No,
Yeah.
I go 20. Like I drive as if like I drive the way that I would hope somebody drive around my kids.
My sister's looking at me with a big old frown on her face because she hosts a podcast that's called Keep Kids Alive, Drive 25. And so
Yeah.
So I knew that would get her like.
Yeah, I know. I knew what you were doing.
Such a stooge. But anyways, okay, Ashton Abdul, we got to talk about him a little bit. I've been meaning to get him on the show because he is from Omaha, but we've talked about him before where he's one of those kids that really only likes running 8-scale. And he put together a good season. I think he made every single A main in both classes. And he, even though he's running for JQ, not my favorite person on the planet, he has stuck with it, and his cars do look good. So I'll give him that. I've even driven his car, and I've been like, wow, this car's actually kind of good. I won't tell him that, but, you know, but it you know. But, you know, but it's nice to see. So, I don't know. I like seeing that. You put in the work for it, and you come to the track, and you can actually do good.
Yeah, no, he is really turned a corner. He like travels to a lot of races and puts in the effort. You know, it's something he really cares about. He's probably the one of the most positive drivers I've ever seen in the track.
Yeah, that too. He is a happy dude. Like just overall a happy kid. You never, even when he breaks, you never see him like throwing stuff. Like I got to be honest with you, Emerson's truck broke. And we went to go look at it and see what was wrong with it after the race. He drove it off. You know, he finished the race under his own power, but he was already, you know, he couldn't do anything about it. If somebody flamed out, though, he still could have got it. Anyways, whatever. So he goes over and he goes, you stupid truck. And he, like, kicked it. And I was like, oh, crap. I'm like, there's me. There's Dad.
Yeah. I think it would have been worse if it were you driving. I don't think there would have been anything left of that truck. It has been a total yard sale over there.
Yeah,
like,
maybe not. But I was weird because it was opposites. Like he was actually upset because he normally doesn't care that much, I think.
Well, that's the thing. Like him getting pissed off that he didn't finish or do well. At least he cares, you know.
Yeah. But then I was like, don't worry about it, man. Dude, you did great today. You bumped up twice. You won 2 mains. You were in position. It's just that's what nitro racing's all about. And he's like, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, it's fine. Just go Marshall, and you know, it'll be fine. So I don't know. Kind of was what it was. Let's talk about kit winners real fast, and we'll get to some questions to wrap this thing up. But so the big deal about the Tekno series and why we're spending a little bit more time on it this week. A, there's not much else to talk about, but B, the big deal with how we have done our both our winter and our summer series is that we have this tradition of giving away kits at the end. And it started in 2005, and somehow throughout all those years, I managed to actually be able to have a kit per class, right? So in our summer series, we have Team Associated. That's our title sponsor. Has been now. I think it's going on 6 or 7 years, and now Tekno. I think this is year 5 for them. And part of the deal to be the title sponsor is to supply us with these kits for the grand prize giveaways. We don't do it by who won. We just do it by random. And some names don't even get put in. Some of the sponsored guys, they don't have their names in the hat. Guys who don't pay, like me and Emerson, we're not, we work for HobbyTown, so we're not going to win a kit. So, so if you made 4 out of 5 in each class, so if you made 4 out of 5 races in Sportsman, and you get your name in the hat for the kit, and sometimes the winners at these things, not to say that they're not deserving, but because it is random, sometimes people who win might have a sponsorship or something behind them, and you kind of know that kit's not going to get used. Yeah. It's probably going to get sold or even, or you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. eBayed or traded.
Yeah. Which is fine. If they paid their entry fees, I don't really care what they do with it. But it is cool when these kits go to people that are going to use it. So
yeah, I've always wanted to win a kit so I could give it away. I just want to be that guy that gives it away, but I've never done that. I've never won a kit, so maybe someday.
So Dylan and Chad Hartshorn both won a kit, just as well Chad did. Yeah. So
those are the Chad guys that should win a kit.
Yeah, Chad Hartshorn won a Pro 4 kit. And then a couple giveaways later, Dylan won the Truggy.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
That's awesome.
I think that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's really cool.
Jake Stoltzing won the buggy, the Nitro buggy. And he's a privateer, and his dad was cheering like crazy. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, we were going to buy one of those. I was like, oh, that's freaking sweet. Yeah. That's how it's supposed to work.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Right? And then Tim Sutherland, Nate Sutherland's dad, he won the e-buggy.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So, in general, it's one of the best parts about our series runs that we do on both sides for a 10 scale and for a Nitro is that ending, that final ending. And what I like is everybody was cheering, even though they didn't win, they were still clapping about who won the cars. Nobody was like, ooh, ooh, bleh. So that was good. That's about it for the Tekno series. We wrap that up, and we look forward to having it back again next year without any dumb craziness going on.
Yeah.
It'd be nice when that's over with. Do you want to get to some questions? We actually had some. So, let's see what we got here. All right, questions. Okay, first off, we need to mention in upcoming events that we do have drifting on Thursday nights. So Rob Nick mentioned drifting on Thursday nights. So if you're bored from this Corona stuff going on, you can come out on Thursdays. They have RC drifting on the concrete, so they move a bunch of pit tables and they drift on their course that they've laid out. And it's been a lot of fun. There's not been a lot of people, so I don't even think we'll meet that 10-person threshold that we're talking about. So you should just come out and check it out. They do a lot of rear wheel drive drifting, not 4-wheel drive. So it's like the real deal. They got gyros in their cars, and they're doing it rear wheel drive.
That's cool. If I was into scaling, that would probably be something I would do.
Yeah. I kind of almost want to call Thursday night like scalar night, like have like I don't want to move a rock crawling night from Tuesday to Thursday, but these guys have come out on Tuesdays too. So I'm thinking about just calling Tuesdays scalar night, where there's drifting and uh, crawling going on. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think so.
You definitely can't do it on the black carpet anymore. We used to be able to drift on the gray carpet, but definitely not on the black carpet.
Why is that?
Traction, too much traction.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, the gray carpet was slick enough, especially after a dirt race, where you could go out there and you could actually drift on the gray carpet for a little while. You'd have to clean off your tires because it would pick up some of the SXT laid out on the carpet. But the black stuff, there's no way. Can't do it at all.
Huh. I was not aware of that. Huh.
Yeah. Nick Pavel, will we ever see a nitro event during the summer at the HobbyPlex? So,
boy,
here's the problem with that, is that it's all about track layout for me. So the summer series is the summer series is a 10 scale summer series. So if I build a track starting with the April race and then go from there to finish off the summer series in September, it's a hell of a lot of work. And this is what we used to do with the J Concepts race and even the Byron's race when it was in like July and stuff. It's a heck of a lot of work to change a track that's built for 10 scale to be suitable for 8 scale and then change it back.
Right. Yeah, that, and I can't imagine when you get a ton of people during the summer for nitro racing, just because of the, you could race outside. A lot of those guys are going to bigger outdoor nitro events.
I think nitro racing is still very, very popular, but it has its place in certain areas. So in the summertime, they've got like all the Minnesota guys, they've got their own Minnesota and Wisconsin series and stuff that they do up there.
Yeah, and you have the Minnesota guys racing, racing nitro between two tracks. Like it's kind of not saturated in that area, but I mean it seems like there's a lot of places to go.
But yeah, the main reason why I don't want to have anything right now is the summer series is so good consistently the last couple of years especially. And plus, I'm old, man. I'm going to be 42 next year, and it is a back-breaking work to build that track one way, try to have it another way, and then try to put it back to make it suitable for another class of racing in a matter of 3 weeks, which is what we used to do.
Right.
And then all the time away from my family, and I don't get to enjoy the stuff that I like to do, like outdoor mountain biking and stuff like that in the summertime. If I'm just doing that, constantly, I think October for us is a better place to have.
Yeah, it's kind of the kickoff for the winter series, I think, to have a nitro race in October, because that's when we used to have the Byron's race. But
Yep, exactly. So I'm still planning on trying to do something in October. That's kind of the plan. I don't want to extend the winter series to 6 rounds. I just feel like in the wintertime, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot.
That would be a lot. And just for travel, I mean, you'd still want to have it. I would still have it like 4 rounds, or you have to make 4 or 6. But
yeah, that's what somebody else said too.
Yeah.
I would rather see us do something like a larger just event, a single day event, like a regional. I was thinking more regionals maybe, if nobody else puts in for it in October.
Yeah.
That people
honestly,
come or they don't.
The series races are already decided in 5 rounds anyway. Or really 4 rounds. So it's like, you're kind of just, racing for the sake of racing at that point.
Yeah. Conrad, Bicey, he says, will we see me, Alex, return to 1/8 scale next year? Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not.
I get the
I had
same
more fun
question a
being
lot.
pit dad. I had more fun being pit dad.
Yeah.
Plus, so much pressure to make sure as our entry counts have gotten bigger, I feel more pressure to make sure that the event goes off without a hitch. That I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to not be in the booth in case something weird happens for the sake of me racing.
Right.
Like, for instance, where we started at, where we had the start, a lot of times I'll delay hitting the start button until everybody is kind of through, so I can see if there's a false start. Then I just have to say bring it back, and I don't even have to hit the false start thing or whatever. It's just a thing I've started doing. Well, my my alternative minimum lap for the first lap was set at like 20 seconds. Mm-hmm. And so a couple early main events, the first 3 or 4 guys across the line didn't count, even though they were leading.
Oh.
And so the screen was all screwed up, right? So the order was screwed up, and I caught it right away. I'm like, oh crap! But I know how to go in there and quickly fix that. You can change the alternative minimum lap on live time as the race is happening, and it recalculates everything, right?
Oh,
so you don't have to sit there and you don't have to sit there and add laps or anything like that. Well, if I wasn't in the booth and somebody, like for instance, I mean, this is not a bag on Clayton, but Clayton runs the truggy races for me while I'm pitting Emerson. If that had happened during one of his lower mains while I was pitting, Clayton wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Yep. So I just feel like it's not appropriate for me to do that. If I get to go travel, like Emerson wants to go to a big nitro race sometime, then I have an e-buggy back here specifically for me that I'll race.
Yeah.
Just because then I don't have to worry about it. But at our specific races, I have no ambition to anyways. But that part of it is there.
If I have a mini truggy next year, which I probably will, I might race mini truggy.
That'll be cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. And then I think on a different one, I can't find it right now, but Joe Zaire Jr. had just mentioned that, if we were going to cancel or postpone, not cancel, but postpone the April race, the HobbyPlex Spring Champs, that we want to get there, he said, by April 10th, so that he can cancel his Airbnb. But
sure. And he's probably not the only one that has.
Yeah. Obviously, we're going to do it as early as possible if it comes to that. I hope it doesn't.
Yeah.
So.
I have no idea what to think, honestly. Like, it's been so. It's like it just gets worse every day. So there's no way to predict anything, and
I've kind of stopped paying attention to a lot of the news, though.
Yeah.
And I don't believe anything on my Facebook feed. I don't know about you, but everything on Facebook is bullcrap.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so many ads for Alex Jones toothpaste you can see, so without thinking without believing all the hype. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to think. I thought it was kind of a thing that was blown way out of proportion, but I really don't think it is anymore. Like, not blown out of proportion, or not a big deal. I think it's a big deal, but I think it's actually a big deal. I don't know. But
yeah.
I guess I'll just do my due diligence and keep coming home all the time. Like, I'm just at home most of the time anyway. So.
Yeah. Well, the Plex is staying open. I mean, there's no reason for us to close unless we're specifically told to. I hope it doesn't come to anything like that. That would be, to me. I've talked about this with my wife a little bit. That would be freaking scary if businesses were forced to shut down by the government.
I don't see that happening, because I think it's kind of your right to stay open, and it's other people's rights to if they want to brave the elements and not come, then don't come. But if you, I don't think anybody should be able to tell you have to close your doors because of this thing. But I don't.
Yeah, but they're already doing that to restaurants, like New York and Pennsylvania.
I know.
Today they already started doing that. To me, that's bonkers.
Mm-hmm. Chick-fil-A closed their dining rooms today.
Yeah, I saw that.
Across the country, all the Chick-fil-A, you gotta go through the drive-through, eat at home.
Yeah. I hope, what I hope is that we're staying open. We have no plans to close. We don't, we've talked about, the only thing we've talked about are the events to postpone, but actually closing the HobbyPlex would be devastating. So we're not going to do that, right? We've stocked up on stuff, right in the nick of time, I think. We had all those big orders a week or two ago. So we actually have quite a bit of stuff. It doesn't look like a lot of the supply chains are being disrupted as far as what the distributors have in stock and getting it to us, because we're still getting orders just like we always do. So for us, it's not like business as usual, but we are just going to be open and there for people to come in and get their hobby fix while this blows over. That's the nice thing about being quarantined, I guess. If you can just work on your RC car stuff or play with your RC car in your yard on your own time. It's one of the great things about this hobby. You don't have to. One of the reasons why this hobby was so attractive to me when I was younger was because I pretty much didn't like anybody. And so I was able to do this on my own and not have to have any weird social reactions with people. And you can do that now,
Yeah, and now look at you. You still don't like anybody when you're at home.
No, I don't. I don't like anybody, but but at least I can fake it.
Yeah, I mean that's one reason why I got an RC. I didn't have a lot of friends. I still don't. I guess I don't. I don't know. Maybe everybody thinks they're my friend nowadays. But I was always just at home by myself doing RC or go-karts or whatever. Like I was always working on stuff that I like. So.
Yeah, this hobby you can choose to be social or you can choose to not. It's not something that's a necessity to be around a bunch of people. Like you can't. Like basketball. Basketball can only be so fun by yourself for so long before you need to go find a pickup game or something, Whereas RC,
I play horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm a social butterfly now, but you know what I'm saying. I'm just trying to make jokes. You guys are my friends. I'm friends with people. Like,
I'm friendly with people too, even if I don't look like it sometimes. I'm still friendly. All right. Well, that's like an hour and 10 minutes. I can't believe we actually filled up this much time. I was not prepared for the show at all. I had no outline, no nothing. I was just like, all right, coronavirus, Tekno series. That's it. And questions.
Yeah, me too.
So.
Yeah.
What? Oh, geez. We got to do our sponsor. We got to get that in. Man,
do we have an audio clip?
We don't yet. That's coming. I think is it next Monday? That we're.
It's always the next week.
No, next week. Next week we're having a session with our Pivot Lending sponsor. Where we're going to record for like an hour, and then they're going to be able to insert these little tidbits into the show. But until then, we just got to wing it. So.
Did you tell Dave? Does Aiden Olson's dad like my commercials?
I don't know. I haven't talked to him about it yet. I tried to talk to him last week. He was at the track, but he seemed kind of busy. So.
I can't wait till we see him, and he's like, "I hate your commercials, Will. Quit doing that to my business."
Hey, Will.
But go ahead.
Okay. Hey, Will. Dude, I heard. Are you looking for a house again?
Yeah, I've been living in this cardboard box in a tiny home behind this guy's house. It's actually just a tent, but I mean, do you know somewhere where I could get a loan for a house?
Yeah, dude. I got this really good lead on this place called pivotlending.com, and they have super low interest rates right now. In fact, with all the corona craziness, I guess the Feds dropped the interest rate to like nothing. Like now would be a great time to buy a house.
Yeah, I've been kind of holding out in my tent behind this guy's house for some kind of national tragedy to happen.
Exactly. Were you holding out for the apocalypse, Will? The interest rates would be awesome while that's going on.
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea. I heard that guy's Aiden Olson's dad, and that's like the only thing you ever really call him is Aiden Olson's dad. I
think you should just get on the website, find the phone number, call him up and be like, hey, is Aiden Olson's dad there? They'll know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, I'll do that.
And he'll get you a super low rate on a house that you choose.
That'd be sweet. Man, running water and electricity would be great. This extension cord that I've been living off of.
I have a question about your tiny home. I have a question about your tiny home.
It's actually a tent on a trailer.
Huh? Do you have toilet paper in your tiny home?
No, we don't have toilet paper yet. There's a bunch of looters that came and stole it all. I had a stockpile.
Oh man.
No,
I feel so sorry for you.
I had a tent leak and it all dissolved.
Well, that's another reason why you need to go to Pivot Lending and get yourself a mortgage through them. So there you go.
Yeah, four walls and a roof is tempting.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Mhm.
Okay, well that was a disaster.
Yeah, mine are better. I'll come up with one.
Right. All right. Well, what do you think? That's about it, isn't it?
Yeah, that's probably a wrap. I hate to say so myself. Yeah,
we'll
I don't know.
What,
how's
what'd you say?
How's the screen working for you? How's the? I need to have a. Yeah, I need to have a better mount for my phone so I don't look like this all the time.
That angle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for the listeners out there, you can go to the HobbyPlex Show on YouTube, and you can catch my HobbyPlex After Hours live stream on Thursdays. But we're also going to try to stream this show in its raw form with our faces on there. So we'll see if it works. If it doesn't, we'll try again later. But that should be pretty fun.
You know, we're a couple of hard triers. We may not ever get it done, but we'll try.
Yeah. Yep. All right. I'll catch you Saturday if you're there.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna try to be there if we're racing. I'll see what the wife thinks, whether or not I should be quarantined or not. We'll see what happens. It's just like day by day. Like you never know. Like they could say, all right, no more than 2 people in an enclosed area at a certain time. You know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Exactly. All right. Well, yeah. Be safe, and I'll see you when I see you.
All right. Keep it real, homie. See you on the flip flop.
All right.
All right, bye.